Here's the other question I want. I want to just get your advice in public.
Okay.
You talk a lot in the book in a very, I think, insightful, data-driven way.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the data you're just kind of making up, but it's clear that it's built upon some actual data um, about build, how to start and sustain a meditation practice.
Mm.
So I'd be curious just to your advice to my listeners about how to do that, and also your advice to me about somebody who's got a meditation app now where we're trying to get people to start meditating and stay meditating.
Right.
So just free associate, if you will, about any of that.
The first problem is how to get people to start, or how you start. The second problem is once you start, how you sustain. And I think they are not the same. Because if you solve one, it doesn't necessarily solve the other. So getting people to start, I think the couple of key aspects of this idea. One key aspect is this idea of a minimum effective dose. Right? It's a dosage that you give that there's a minimum dosage that you give that is effective. So if you give less than that, it doesn't work. Then the person says, it doesn't work. But if you give too much beyond that, then it's overdose. Then it's like, whoa, I can't do this. So there's an understanding of where the minimum effective dose is and applying just the right amount. Okay? So that is, I think, the key concept in getting people to start. So what is the minimum effective dose? So in the old days, I'll say 2 minutes. I get people to do meditation for 2 minutes and then they get it. And now I think is 1 breath is enough. And the way I do it is this. I get people to take 1 breath where you bring full attention to 1 in breath and 1 out breath, whatever full attention means to you. So people do that. Maybe you do one breath right now. You might notice you're calmer already in 1 breath. And why? Turns out there are 2 reasons. There's a psychological reason and a physiological reason. Physiologically, when you bring full attention to a breath, for some reason, your breath slows down and becomes deeper. And you stimulate your vagus nerve. And when you stimulate your vagus nerve, you activate something called the relaxation response.
And that's VAGUS.
Yeah, so the vagus nerve, when you activate it, activates the relaxation response, which is the direct opposite of the stress response. So your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure goes down, and so on. And therefore, you feel more relaxed already. Psychologically, I think even more powerful, which is to be regretful, you need to be in the past. To worry, you need to be in the future. So if you're bringing full attention to the breath, then for the duration of the breath, you are free from worry and regret. Free from worry and regret. It's that powerful. Even though it lasts for only 1 breath, you can feel the impact. And so the practice is that what if you can do more? You can extend this freedom from worry and regret, and you can deepen it into a kind of an extraordinary sense of freedom and joy. That is the practice. But it begins with 1 breath, and in 1 breath, you already feel it. And something else interesting about this is that it turns out it's not just for meditators. This is very useful even for sports people. This is useful for performance. So not just living life. And the best example I know of was tennis players, which is tennis players, the best tennis players in the world, the ones who win the Wimbledons, they develop this skill, which is what we just talked about, which is between points, 10, 15 seconds between points, they're able to rest their minds and bodies so effectively that they're more rested before the next point begins, and therefore they can sustain high performance through the whole game, and therefore they do win Wimbledons. And so I asked that to Novak when I finally met him.
Novak Djokovic?
Yes, best tennis player in the history of the game.
Yeah, also an active meditator.
Yes. Yeah. And I didn't know at that time.
Yeah.
But I asked him, is this true? Do you have this skill? Do you develop this skill? And he said, yes. And this skill he said this, he didn't say in those words. Let me see so this is the key for him. He confirmed that this is the most important part. And so the exact words are this. The exact words he said, at my level, tennis is no longer a physical game. It's a mental game. And the way to win it is to be able to calm your mind and always think clearly. And so I think that's why he's the best tennis player in the world, because he's a meditator, in addition to his training as tennis player.